Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we have a special treat. We're going through radiant energy fire detectors, also known as flame detectors or spark emitter detectors in the code. I have Ben here with me. He's with BNC, that's our fire alarm testing company. Brian up on the ladder, and of course, as always, Drew holding the camera.
Hello.
And so a radiant energy flame detector, it really what it's doing is it's looking for fire or radiant energy, actual flame. And we are here in our generator plant. You want to show everybody? This is a pretty awesome place. So, and we've got a double interlock pre-action system serving this. So this radiant energy flame detector actually triggers the one leg of that. And we're doing this specifically because of the sensitivity, of course, with having these generators running, and we run them quite often for our hospital, of course, right? So, but the test methods associated with these are a little bit different. Code is very clear on what you have to do, and that's referred to the manufacturer's recommendations and requirements. Ben's going to talk a little bit about that, but a few things that people forget about, and we're going to walk through kind of this whole thing, but table 14.4.3 is the visual inspection requirements, and these are required to be inspected visually. How often?
Visually?
Yeah.
Quarterly.
Yep. And what are we looking for?
So visually, what you want to look for is the number one thing is obstructions. Can the detector see the area that you want it to cover? So that's just obstructions on the floor, near the equipment, whatever. But then you want to take a closer look at the actual lens. Make sure there's no cracks, make sure there's no dirt, make sure there's nothing on the lens that would cause that obstruction as well.
Awesome. Yep. And just to clarify, NFPA 72 2010 edition, I know we always say it, but you guys are probably tired of hearing it. That's what we follow because CMS adopted the 2012 edition of NFPA 101. It references this edition. So table 14.422 is test methodologies, and that's where it says radiant energy detectors have to be tested using manufacturer's requirements and have to have a calibrated test, and they provide several methods. There's one that is other approved methods, which is actually what we're going to do. Why are we doing that?
So when you look at the manufacturer's recommendations, like he said, the calibration is important. This particular detector that we're using today, or we're testing today, if you refer to that manufacturer sheet, it calibrates itself every single minute, 60 times an hour, every single minute it runs a calibration. So as long as the monitor module from the panel is looking at that detector for faults, then it'll know if it's not calibrated. So there's no calibration we have to do out in the field.
Yep, cool. And the other thing, before we get into how we're going to test it, table 14.4.5 is the testing frequency table in NFPA 72. Radiant energy detectors are required to be tested semi-annually. We already found an issue on RPM where we had it tested as annually, so we found that, we're correcting it, making sure, and we wanted to share that, So this is the one time. There's only a few times, right?
Right.
You guys have heard me say so many times how much I hate testing with magnets.
Right.
Because it's the wrong way to do it. This is the one time where the manufacturer says to test with a magnet. So, so we are actually testing with a magnet. Any other case, gotta question it, right? So, and Ben knows, he called me and he said, I gotta test with a magnet, and I had to go see it for myself. So, okay, before we do that also, so how we've talked about this a couple times. At our health system, how we've got it set up is we actually issue our contractors an iPad, and on this iPad, this is our CMMS system. They complete all the work orders, all the PMs for our fire alarm testing in our work order system. No third-party software, no paper. It all is directly in there. They sync several times a day. It creates automatic corrective maintenance work orders that we then issue out to either Ben to repair or to a different repair company. So this has been several years in the making, and we're working on a book. Ashley's book is coming out soon on it, so to talk through that. All right, let's do this.
So where we start is all of the work orders that are due, preventative maintenance work orders that are due, are assigned to me on the iPad, and I'm directly in touch with the CMMS system. So what I'm gonna do is tell the iPad I'm ready to test something. What the inspector's gonna do is actually take a scanner, and he's gonna scan the barcode that's on the side of this device that integrates with the CMMS system. When he does that, you'll see it brings up the work order that's issued to us that says, hey, you should test this. Now, there's several things I'm looking for, the inspector's looking for when we do that. Is it the right type of detector? Is it assigned the right PM schedule? Does it have the correct description, et cetera, et cetera? I won't go in necessarily all the nuts and bolts about this as far as checking some of those details, but what I will tell you is, number one, he scanned the device. So as a fire alarm contractor or test and inspect contractor, that provides a surety to the staff here. I was physically at that device, right? So what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna start a clock when I do that on this TMMS system, much like all of their other staff do. So what that does is tells the staff here, how long is he spending on the device, right? How long did it take him to test it? So then we test it.
All right, let's test it. All right, there we go.
So two things. Number one, we saw that it initiated its test. Because we're standing where we're standing, it just coincidentally, a generator released some air pressure that didn't have anything to do, or a compressor did, that didn't have anything to do with what we did.
That wasn't our sprinkler system.
Right. But what we will do now is, during the process, we're gonna go to the panel. We would typically have someone at the panel to make sure it reports correctly. And then we also have to have someone at the sprinkler panel, the pre-action panel, to make sure it engaged as well on our half of the system. Once all of those things are done, I can come over here and stop this clock. When I stop it, it's looking for me to say, what did you do? Is everything okay? So once I enter that, for the record, we've already verified that this works. I just want to point that out. So once I verify that, now there's a time entry that says he was at this asset, he provided this inspection, it's done, he's logged his notes, etc. So now I can close this work order out.
Done. There it is.
And once I sync that up, the staff knows we've done what we're supposed to do. That work order's complete, it's logged, it's generated, good to go.
Awesome. So, anything that we missed?
No, obviously you talk about discrepancies and all that, but we'll save that for another video.
Drew, did we get it all?
I think so.
Awesome. So, until next time, everybody, happy learning.